for KBLA Talk 1580, and we're glad you're on this journey with us.
You never turned away, you were right there. And I thank you, thank you.
Who is it?
Dad.
Hold on. Okay, come in. Hey, what's happening, Dad?
Well, never gonna clean it up. No matter how busy it gets, you're never gonna clean it up. Son?
Yeah, Dad.
There's no music coming through the headset. You still bopping to what's left in your brain? No. Take the headset off, please.
Now?
Is there any reason why you shouldn't take them off now?
No.
Okay. Sure can get up, can't it?
Yeah. Denise told you, right?
Told me what?
About this.
Is that a decal?
No.
Have you been tagged by the Wildlife Society?
It's an earring, Dad. There's a hole through my ear, and Denise says it might be infected.
Well, she's right. It is infected. Come on.
What are you gonna do to me?
I am going to fix your ear.
Then what?
You expecting some sort of punishment?
Shouldn't I?
Yeah.
Welcome in. You're locked in with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580. Of course, that was a clip of Malcolm-Jamal Warner and Bill Cosby. If you have not heard the news, Malcolm passed away. He drowned in Costa Rica while on vacation with his family. And, you know, we wanted to start the show paying tribute and giving our flowers to Malcolm. Obviously, if you were a Gen Xer, probably a millennial, but Gen X especially, coming up in 1984, you were seated for The Cosby Show. It was the #1 show, not just in America, probably worldwide. And you watched the famous conversation between Cliff Huxtable and Theo, where Cliff told Theo, I brought you in this world and I'll take you out. After Theo told him that, you know, he was doing his best and that his father should understand. And we all fell in love. I know that the image that was put forth on The Cosby Show started, you know, at one point in time in later years, people felt like it was an unrealistic portrayal. But I feel like it was a very real portrayal for some in Black life. And it was something that obviously needed to be shared Malcolm was our big brother, our little brother, our cousin, our nephew, all of the things, and we watched him grow. He wasn't just an actor. He also was an accomplished director. If you didn't know, he directed the Any Heartbreak video. He also directed a group called 5 Star. I'm not sure if you guys remember them. They came out in the late 80s, mid 80s, and he directed one of their videos. He directed a special ed video, I'm the Magnificent. So, he was key. He also directed episodes of All That, Kenan and Kel, Malcolm and Eddie, The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, and The Cosby Show. So we will miss him greatly. He also was an accomplished musician. He released a jazz funk EP back in 2003. And he played bass guitar. On the album, he recited his poetry over music, so he was a poet. And he also had a podcast that was called Not All Hood, and it discussed the lives and experiences of Black Americans. I think given that he was featured in a sitcom that depicted a different side of Black life, and we talk about being the representative, but if there were magazines in the 80s like Teen Beat, Tiger Beat, those type of things, white teen magazines primarily, but the one Black kid you would see on there mostly, there would be kids from The Cosby Show, the one Black male, Malcolm. And it's just such a loss. 54 is young in the grand scheme of things, and it's just a tragedy. Andy?
I was telling all my friends, millennial here by the way, so I definitely grew up with the Cosby Show, and I was just telling a lot of my friends that before Will Smith, it was Theo Huxtable for me. I was like, who's the best TV show son? You know what I'm saying? Black sitcoms. Theo was the guy, man. He was like big brother to me. So, to hear this, I saw my boy, he posted it on his Instagram. I was like, are you serious? This was not the way that I wanted to start my day off. 54, too young. He looked really healthy and everything like that. So definitely disappointing. I just feel like my childhood is, being withered away.
I know. It's just, we lost Ananda Lewis last month. We're still not over the death of Kobe 5 years later. So many others. So, I just want to send a lot of love, encouragement, and light to his family. He is a father. He was married. And, I'm also sending love out to Regina King because they dated for quite some time. And, she just lost her son a few years ago. So, doing that, and also sending, a lot of heartfelt love to all the Cosby Show fans, because I know that a lot of deaths hit us and no one is important than the other. But again, this was a pivotal time, especially for Gen Xers, watching Malcolm grow up and develop. So a rep for Bill Cosby says that the news took him back to the tragic murder of his own son, Ennis, in 1997. Malcolm's character on The Cosby Show was modeled after Bill's own son, Ennis. So in a strange and tragic twist of fate, he loses both of his sons. I know that there is not much love extended to Bill Cosby, and I understand why, but in this moment, that is sad. Cosby went on to call him a world changer and said his legacy will live on. So when we come forward, we're going to get into these trending topics and headlines. And, go get your Gordon Gartrell button up one time from Malcolm. All that and more on the other side.
For endangered surviving black males. Really. If anyone really valued life and cared about the masses, they take them both to Panopticon and get 2 pairs of glasses. Excuse me, but Lady Liberty needs glasses. I'm kicking asses up and down New York City. It's a pity, Brothers wanna be grimy and gritty to each other. What would your mother think, smothering your brother? I see you sink into another level, dancing with the devil. Turn up the bass, cause I'm a player, also a rhyme sayer. Kinda fly, layer after layer.
Are you ready for the hottest entertainment scoop in Los Angeles? She's bringing you exclusive interviews with today's biggest stars, behind the scenes Hollywood insights, and all the entertainment news you need to know. She's breaking down what's trending, what's ending, and what's just beginning in the world of entertainment. You're riding with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
Why'd I go to the doctor? My heart would race just taking my son to practice. It didn't feel right. So I got checked out. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit notimetowait.com. Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. Worried about eviction? You have rights, and Stay Housed LA can help. Stay Housed LA is a partnership between LA County, the City of Los Angeles, and local service providers. From Lancaster to Long Beach, we're here to help you with tenant education workshops, legal clinics, free legal services for eligible tenants, and online resources about tenant protection laws. Don't face eviction alone. Call our hotline at 1-888-694-0040. That's 1-888-694-0040. Or visit stayhousedla.org. Stay Housed LA, keeping Los Angeles residents in their homes. Stay Housed LA, your rights, your home, our community. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
The California Crusader newspaper would like to thank all of our subscribers for their support throughout the years, proudly serving the South Los Angeles and South Bay areas for more than 40 years. The California Crusader is a multicultural, black-owned, adjudicated newspaper that focuses on providing newsworthy information to the people in our community. We're constantly looking for ways to assist businesses in our community to connect with our subscribers. We provide low-cost, effective ways to promote your business with our reasonable and affordable advertising rates. You can participate by suggesting, sharing, and submitting your stories on the California Crusader newspaper Community Share Facebook group page, or visit our website at cal-cruise-news.com. That's calcruisenews.com. Then click on the Submit Now button located on the top right corner of the homepage, or text CCN to 42828. Again, text CCN to 42828. The California Crusader newspaper, working together to build a better community for our future. Subscribe today.
Lena Bloom for the Bail Project.
Imagine you're stuck in a jail cell and you can't afford bail, and someone offers you a way out. Just plead guilty and you can go home and kiss your kids goodnight. What do? What thousands have. You plead guilty whether you are or not. Cash bail makes poverty a crime. That's why the Bail Project helps those who can't afford it while fighting to end cash bail, because freedom should be free.
Brought to you by the Ad Council.
Now back to more entertainment news with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
Boys and girls want to hear a true story. Saturday night was at this real wild party. They had the liquor overflow in the cup. About 5-6 strippers trying to work for a buck. Then I took one girl outside with me. Her name was Lonnie. She went to junior high with me. I said, why you up in there dancing?
Welcome back in. You're locked in with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580. And also, I wanted to separate them just because I thought Malcolm rightfully deserved his own space. Robbie Pardlow of City High, you know, they're known for this song, What Would You Do? Caramel, however you want to pronounce that one. He passed away on July 17th in New Jersey. He is survived by his wife, Anika, and 2 children. So sending, thoughts, prayers, love, and light to his loved ones, fans, and friends. One more thing about Malcolm, and then we have a caller on the line. If you have not checked out his work on The Resident, I believe that was the most recent series that he was a part of. please watch. It's on Netflix right now, and he is excellent on that show. And he goes head to head, so to speak, with Morris Chestnut. Really good. So, yeah, run that up so his wife and kids can add those residuals. So we have a caller on the line before we move on from this topic. Eric from Carson. Welcome in, Eric. How are you this evening?
Hey, Jill. How you doing?
I'm good. And yourself?
A little emotional, so I'm going to try to keep it together here. I'll just say that it's important that I start by saying I got to be respectful. I don't want this to be misinterpreted. The Cosby Show opened up prominent black families with a doctor and a lawyer. That was something that was a new thing. Even the Jeffersons kind of touched on black success, but that was like, cleaners, it wasn't professional black people.
Right.
And so Malcolm-Jamal Warner was huge because he was a part of this iconic show. You already said all that, but the statement that I want to make, I don't even know if it's a question, and I'm concerned about my question, but it's been said that Malcolm's wife and daughter are basically anonymous, and that's the way he apparently wanted it, and I'm assuming that that's what his wife wanted. And the question that I have is that when you marry a celebrity, should you understand that you are marrying someone who is a public figure? I have went to tapings. I have been in his presence before, but I don't know him, but I feel like I do. And so all that being said, I will conclude with now it's his wife's place and his daughter, I don't know if she's an adult or not, but to carry on his legacy. And will his wife remain anonymous, which is her right, or should she not? And this is I'm sorry to be putting this out. I'm just dialogue. It's not trying to judge anybody.
I completely understand. I think, they may have had their own reasons. He might have wanted to keep his private life private. I have my suspicion as to why. But, I mean, social media and fans are a mess at times. Do you know? And sometimes you like to keep bits of yourself for yourself, especially when you have been a front-facing figure for 40 years. Can you imagine? Literally everywhere you go, somebody is calling you Theo. Somebody has a corny joke, So I think that there are moments when public figures want to keep some parts of themselves just for themselves and their family. That could possibly be the reason. I think that his legacy will live on via his work. I don't think that there's necessarily something you have to do per se. I mean, we know that right now, in theory, the Cosby Show is not a show a lot of people are willing to admit watching, but because of it, Andy's asking why. So because of his connection to Bill, and the same reason why people don't listen to R. Kelly music, right? So, but that doesn't mean that it will always stay that way. It is a classic piece of TV. It changed a lot of things in the industry. It was a standout, and in spite of what Bill may have done partially while he was working on that show, the work itself, and by extension, the people that were involved, we still love all of those that are around them. So I feel like there's no way that his legacy won't live on. I mean, I don't know if people ever watched in 2011, he had a show on BET called Read Between the Lines. It was him and Tracy Ellis Ross. And they had a lot of chemistry. I wish the show could have continued because I feel as though it was finding its way. But then Tracy went on to do Blackish, Malcolm was still working. That is a blessing, right? Because we have heard several actors and actresses that haven't been able to move on from a role that they played as a child. Malcolm had an extensive career as an adult. So I feel as though his legacy is intact. I don't believe that day to day we talked about Malcolm-Jamal Warner in that way, but some of the clips from the Cosby Show, they're still funny 40 years later. So I think that there is no way that his legacy won't be intact and remembered. And I don't necessarily, I mean, if his wife chooses to do so, that is her right, and it's great. But I don't think that she has to. And I don't think that anyone will feel a particular way if she doesn't jump out into the world like, hey, I'm Malcolm's wife, and this is what I have to share. But if she chooses to, I'm sure she'll be welcomed.
Well, I'll close. You spoke excellently, and I'll just say this. You've answered my question. You convinced me that I was wrong, because just the fact that Bill Cosby is persona non grata because of everything that happened, he was a very awesome actor, and that's what he was doing. He was acting, and everybody has done things that they are not proud of. No judgment one way or the other. So all I'm saying is that maybe it's best not to be subject to all of the ridicule that you get when you get in the public eye. So thank you for what you just said, because I think that answered my question.
Appreciate your call as always, Eric. So let's get into your guy, Tyrese, because you know Tyrese is always wilding out on social media, and it is our job to keep you abreast of his activities. Now,
what more do you want from me?
It all apparently, well, this is what Tyrese is looking for right now. It's not really so much wild, but it's just kind of, Tyrese, I know you got friends in the industry. I know there was a better way you could go about this, right? So this is a good old-fashioned public overshare, in my opinion. Tyrese is back on Instagram, and this time, not crying, not talking about his divorce, not talking about work. He's putting out an APB for Mary J. Blige. On Sunday night, he posted a now viral message, right? Asking fans for help to get him in touch with Mary. He called her his Capricorn queen. Tyrese is a Capricorn as well. And he said that he had something so very special for Mary to share. He went on to say that he hasn't been able to reach her in 2 weeks and begged anyone with her contact info to pass it along. He said he had 2 cell numbers, but they don't seem to be working now. So naturally, people in social media are wondering, is it new music? Is he trying to get her in a film? Or is it just Tyrese being Tyrese? What I think about is there is a video from back in the day, not way back in the day, but maybe somewhere in the last 10 years or so, of Mary, Tyrese, and I feel like maybe Diddy. And in the picture, Tyrese is like, well, it's a video, but they were taking a photo. And in that, Tyrese is trying to rub up on Mary's leg, and Mary's like shooing him away. I'm sure she's like, shoo, fly, shoo. I don't got time. Don't give Tyrese my number. But again, what's with the social media APB, right? I don't know. But shout out to Tyrese for always keeping us interested in some things. Listen, we got some comments in the chat. They are going to work. Pretty Brown Mimi says, I grew up with the Cosby Show. Theo was my TV brother. My deepest sympathies to his family and friends. Rest in peace, Malcolm-Jamal Warner. Let's see who else. Morris Phillips says, The Cosby Show was the greatest American television show ever. Theo was the typical teenager. He always thought he knew more than mom and dad. And Forrest Harrison said, I still watch Malcolm and Eddie, the TV show. Where can you find that? Tubi? I didn't even know that you could reach out for that one. Morris Phillips also added, Bill Cosby has done for black people, and yes, he's pissed me off too, but we can't dismiss his positive contributions. Maurice Geis says CNN is trash for asking questions about Mr. Cosby's situation during the passing of Malcolm. And Fahima says, The Cosby Show is streaming on Amazon Prime. A Different World is on TV One and Netflix. I'm mature enough to separate a beloved character from an actor with character flaws. I feel the same, but he is also an executive producer, and people feel like, and I'm sure you know this, Fahima, and others, They don't want to see someone financially profit that they feel has done so much harm. So, I mean, it is a lot going on. And again, with Robbie from City High went through a lot in their short time period. And Claudette Ortiz, who was the female in the group, we used to hear a lot about her, how it was her fault she broke up the group because she dated both of them. But, you know, just the main thing that you should be thinking about is hug your family. Make sure that you are, you know, spreading love, because you never know how quickly the situation can change. And Mary, I bet she's going to hit block if she gets any number that she does not know, or somebody says Tyrese is looking for your number. Listen, when we come forward, we're going to get into Waka Flocka's comments about former President Barack Obama. And I got to know, dog, what is Waka thinking? When we come forward, all of that. You're locked in with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
Yo, wait a second, man. Something just ain't sounding right, yo. You trying to tell me your girlfriend couldn't just go out?
You're in the know with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Amber Payton with BIN News Now. Malcolm-Jamal Warner, best known for playing Theo Huxtable on The Cosby Show, has died at 54. According to TMZ, the actor died from an accidental drowning. He leaves behind his wife and daughter, though he kept their names and family life private. The Justice Department has now received a criminal referral from Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard, who claims Obama-era officials manufactured intelligence about Russian interference in the 2016 election. Gabbard says she submitted the referral this week, sparking backlash from Democrats who call her claims politically motivated. President Trump responded by posting an AI video of Obama being arrested. And Drewski just announced his Coulda Fest tour, kicking off September 13th in London and hitting 11 cities, including New York City, Houston, and Atlanta. The comedy and music tour will feature guests like Soulja Boy, Young M.A., Big X The Plug, and more. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
A crash in Diamond Bar has wrapped up on the 60 eastbound before the 57. All lanes are open. Delays picking up away from Fullerton Road. Also, Sun Valley, a crash on the 5 northbound before Tuxford. Left lanes blocked. Delays away from Glen Oaks. Commerce, a wreck on the 5 southbound is lost, and everyone's off to the shoulder. But you're on the brakes out of East LA, getting away from Calzona. And let's also check out that drive as you make your way through Grand Terrace, 215 southbound before Iowa Avenue. A crash off to the shoulder now, delays away from Mount Vernon.
Every day a child in poverty waits for a sponsor is another day of hopelessness. There are thousands of kids who've been waiting over a year. End their wait. Sponsor a child with compassion today. Just text the word radio to 83393.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
Veteran point guard Chris Paul is coming back to the Clippers for his 21st and final season in the NBA. The 40-year-old Paul signed a one-year deal with the Clippers as a free agent. He told the team he intends to retire after the season. Paul played 6 years with the Clippers from 2011 to 2017 and became one of the team's all-time performers. Paul's 4,023 assists with the Clippers is a franchise record. Paul's family lives in L.A. He told his agent he wanted to end his career with his family. Paul chose the Clippers over Milwaukee, Dallas, and Charlotte. The Washington Commanders are not the only sports team President Trump is demanding to change their nickname. Trump wants the Major League Baseball Cleveland Guardians to go back to their original name of the Indians. Trump wants the Commanders to return to the Redskins. Owners of both teams have said they are not changing their nicknames. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson. More news, opinions, and conversation when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
Yeah.
At KBLA Talk 1580, we're proud to be celebrating 4 years on the air, but we know we could not have made it this far without you. We work hard every single day to curate conversations that will enlighten, encourage, and empower you. So, from all of us at KBLA Talk 1580, a big thank you for your love and support.
You don't know how much you mean to me.
And by the way, if your smartphone did not update automatically, be sure to download our brand new KBLA 1580 app. We think you'll love all the new features, including new ways to send us photos and video in real time, whenever news breaks, while we're on the air. It's a new dawn, a new day for KBLA Talk 1580, and we're glad you're on this journey with us.
You never turned away, you were right there. Thank you, thank you.
During this time, it's important for everyone to know your rights. The 4th, 5th, and 6th Amendments in the U.S. Constitution protects every one of us, regardless of immigration status. The 4th Amendment requires a judicial warrant to search your home. The 5th protects your right to remain silent, and the 6th gives you the right to an attorney. Just remember,
No warrant, no key. My privacy. You don't have to speak. No lawyer inside. Don't say a thing. Yeah, we all got rights.
Hey, we all got rights. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. The Los Angeles Regional Food Bank is on a mission to fight hunger and provide nutritious food to those in need across our community. They partner with federal, state, and local programs advocating for better policies and funding for critical hunger relief programs like Cal Fresh, the Emergency Food Assistance Program, and the Child and Adult Care Food Program. The food bank works with coalitions and local representatives to make sure hunger is addressed in every district of LA County. They also run nutrition education campaigns, raise hunger awareness, and source nutritious food for distribution, all while supporting regulations that allow food pantries to operate safely. Want to help? Visit lafoodbank.org or call 323-234-3030 to volunteer or find a food bank near you. Together, we can ensure that no one goes hungry in Los Angeles County. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Hey there, Los Angeles. This is James Lucky Jr., publisher and editor of Los Angeles News Observer. Are you hungry for news that matters to you in the African-American communities of Los Angeles? Well, buckle up, because we got the scoop you've been craving. Stay in the know and never miss a beat with our free weekly publications conveniently available near you. Or hop on the digital wave and become an exclusive subscriber at OGNSC.com. Don't forget to join the party on Instagram and Twitter at OGNSCINC for behind-the-scenes access and sizzling updates. No more FOMO. Let's stay informed, connected, and empowered together.
You're listening to Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580. Listen to this track.
Girl, the way you moving, got me in a trance. DJ, tell me up. Ladies, this your jam. I'ma sip Moscato. You gon' move them fast. And I'ma throw this money while you do it with no hands. Girl, drop it to the floor. I love the way you do it, girl. All I wanna do is sit back and watch you move and see the darkness fall. In your jeans, Ken Wale B, Ken Roscoe Ski. Long hair, she don't care. When she walks, she gets this. Brown skin or a yellow ball. DJ, this my favorite song, so I'ma make it thunderstorm. Blood, want it, Flocka, yeah. Blow it, get, I don't care. Dresses flying everywhere. Got my partner Roscoe, like, bro, I'm drunk as hell. Can't you tell? Do 70 bands that fit this stat so fucking well. I'm trying to hit the hotel with two girls, that's wallow. Take this on a little baby Moscato, got a freaky. Hey, you got me in the trends. Please take off your pants. Pop up on the handstand. You got me sweating. Please pass me a fan. Damn.
Welcome back in. You're locked in with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580. Listen, the summer of no hands. The summer of no hands. At 2010 or 2011, around about there, supper club era in LA, if you were outside, let me tell you what, This song. Look, my no hands. I don't think. Hey, all right. Shout out to that though. I mean, can we keep the song and push Waka? I don't know. Waka be saying, he says some off the wall stuff sometimes, and sometimes I feel like, you know, besides this and Love and Hip Hop, what you doing, Waka? And I know he's not on Love and Hip Hop no more.
No, it's hip hop. It's ratchet. We say outlandish stuff. I mean, it is what it is.
I know. But I mean, what else are you contributing? Like, come on, Waka. All right, let me get into why we are talking about Waka Flocka Flame right now. And not just the summer of 2011 when No Hands was bopping. You know, Waka Flocka's thumbs, since we're talking about No Hands, got him into trouble again, right? This time, he was dragging the Obamas. It was a tweet and delete. Well, not a tweet, but a post and delete. So over the weekend, Waka Flocka reposted a clip from Michelle Obama's podcast, in my opinion, and it featured Barack Obama discussing the impact a gay professor had on him while he was in college and how it shaped his thinking. And Obama said it's important for young men to be exposed to a diverse range of male role models. So Waka reposted the clip and said, "Kids, never be this fool and deceiver. Obama tripping." Oh, he said Omara. I don't know why he said Omara, but, you know, typo. And y'all agreeing with this? Of course, he deleted the post, but naturally it sparked backlash, not just from the LGBTQ community, but also Obama stands and just in general, people like, how can a rapper who talks about no hands, right, say that a college-educated man that ran the free world as a black man, no matter how you feel about the job that he did, what your feelings are, he is accomplished, he is educated, he started from a single mother home that, you know, wasn't wealthy per se, and he climbed the ladder to make it to the highest office in the land. He is married to an unambiguously black woman, which, you know, a lot of people say that successful black men are not with black women. And he battled racism and personal attacks with grace and class. Maybe too much for some, but imagine yourself in the position that he was in. So when I say that, and I understand that you may not agree with their politics or their stance. I get that. But saying to never be a man like that has been honorable, that has only encouraged people to stand up, you know? I understand, and I understand that all presidents are critiqued, but I just feel like, Waka, you could have let that one go. You could have let that one go, right? Because you're saying, and this is who you listen to, dog, should we be listening to you, baby daddy? And again, I'm not throwing darts, but I am a little bit, right? Just because, who should they be listening to? I don't know. But again, shout out to No Hands, because that was my joint. Andy?
You already know how hip-hop feels about, you know, the LGBTQ community.
I do.
And I think that's really all it stems from.
And, you know, I understand that. But I also feel like in 2025, right, when, again, I'm not saying that he has to be a believer in that or be, you know, throw on his rainbow flag. But what I am saying is that there is respect to be had for what President Obama has done. And again, bypass, right? Because, you know, you have some gay friends in hip hop. You in Atlanta, so Let's not act like you haven't come across and I'm not talking about personally relation or anything like that. I'm just saying you're in Atlanta.
What that mean?
Atlanta got a lot going on. Atlanta got a lot going on.
Has it surpassed San Francisco?
For us?
Yes.
Absolutely. Okay. As the like, I feel like they have a right now in 2025, this is going a little left. This is not what you think, Andy.
Okay.
Atlanta is the center of Black culture, right? That's just what it is. And so I think from the trends they set, the music, different things, they are where people go for culture. And, at this point, Black gay culture as well. I think that's just what it is. So DJ Black 909 in the chat says, Obama was reared mostly by his grandparents and stepfather along with his mother. She was at the time single, not solo. Fair enough. That's fair. That's fair. I get what you're saying. But, I still think Royal Jenkins said Jill on code. It's not about being on code. I just think that I just don't think that was the thing to question about Barack by saying men should have a variety of male influences. He didn't say specifically gay. He's just saying different types and different experiences. And I think that there's nothing wrong with that statement for you to be like, he is a fool and never be this man. Andy?
Do you think that Waka might be suffering what Aries Spears might be suffering from? I don't know if anybody is familiar with the statements from Aries Spears about Ice Cube, about how he's not feeling him. Do you think they're suffering from just talking too much?
Maybe. I mean, it might just be, just word vomit, just putting out whatever's on your mind. But I just think that it's probably not even going to impact his fans or anything. But I just think that as a man, right, even if you don't respect some of the things he's done, a lot of people don't respect some of the things that Waka has done, but you still want your words to be taken seriously and weighed fairly. And, saying that men should be comfortable with a variety, if that's not right for you, then it's not right for you. But I don't think that it is a wrong statement. And I just think about how many things happen, how many kids are closeted or hidden or scared to be themselves because of things like that, right? Again, understanding there's a lot of things that we don't rock with, but we don't feel the need to blurt out these things at every given time, especially when they are largely positive as far as imagery goes.
Once again, I always talk about, the responsibility of the consumer. And I just feel like, why are we even giving Waka Flocka even that much power? You know
Fair.
What I mean? Like, I don't know if I saw that, or if I heard the statements, I'm kind of like dismissing it. I'm like, bro, you're a public figure, but I'm not looking at you for any type of
guidance,
political none of that type of stuff. So it's just like some of the outrage. Sometimes I'll be like, man, you guys are tripping, dog. Like let Waka Flocka say what he has to say, and it shouldn't even carry that much weight.
Fair enough. When we come forward, we're going to get into, I got a little update on Shannon Sharp's accuser, Gabby. She's made a career move. So we'll get into those details. And Janelle James, that's Principal Ava from Abbott Elementary, shares the lesson that she learned about having money. All of that and more on the other side.
You're riding with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
Attorney advertising. Prior results do not guarantee future outcomes.
Founded in Los Angeles in 1986, litigation powerhouse Quinn Emanuel has deep roots in the Los Angeles community. Since 2007, we have litigated some of the largest fires on the West Coast. We are proud to be the only AmLaw 100 firm in the country to represent wildfire victims, giving affected individuals, families, and businesses the same focus and individualized attention we devote to our Fortune 500 clients. BTI Consulting has repeatedly recognized Quinn Emanuel as among the 4 law firms in-house counsel leading least liked to oppose in any litigation, and we are often deemed the most feared. And after securing over $80 billion for our clients in various matters firm-wide, we understand why. If you have been affected by the recent wildfires in Altadena and the Palisades and would like to discuss your situation further, please contact wildfire support at quinemanuel.com or call us at 213-443-3050. Quinn Emanuel is proud to sponsor Conversation Live Altadena Rising with James Farr on KBLA Talk 1580.
Attorney advertising prior results do not guarantee future outcomes.
During this time, it's important for everyone to know your rights. The 4th, 5th, and 6th Amendments in the U.S. Constitution protects every one of us, regardless of immigration status. The 4th Amendment requires a judicial warrant to search your home. The 5th protects your right to remain silent, and the 6th gives you the right to an attorney. Just remember,
No warrant, no key. Privacy. You don't have to speak. No lawyer inside. Don't say a thing. Yeah, we all got rights.
Hey, we all got rights. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. The Autopsy Initiative provides a second autopsy free of charge for victims' families who have lost their loved ones due to a police-related death. The services offered through the initiative include the completion of a second autopsy, disclosure of preliminary findings, and a final autopsy report. A police-related death is when an individual is harmed by police officers using deadly force, which results in an individual's death. Police-related death includes in-custody deaths, including those that arise during contact with law enforcement officers during arrest, pursuit, booking, transport, or incarceration. The Autopsy Initiative has a team of board-certified pathologists on call. An autopsy request may be completed by anyone with a close relationship with the victim, which may include the victim's spouse, partner, relative, close friend, or lawyer. To request a free second autopsy for a victim of police violence, please visit knowyourrightscamp.com. That's knowyourrightscamp.com. Then click on Autopsy, then click on Request. At KBLA, we believe in justice for victims of police violence. We say their names, and we don't black down. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
You're listening to Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
We're back with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580. Let me say this to end the Waka conversation. I think that one of the things that hampers some individuals is a lack of exposure to a variety of environments, people, and perspectives. And so in that statement for me with Waka, I think that talking to different people with different backgrounds, different histories, makes you more compassionate. It makes you see a bigger picture and helps synthesize information and kind of not as mean sometimes or not as narrow-minded. So that's why, not that I took offense per se, but just kind of like, yo, he's tripping because of that. Like, he's a fool because you believe you shouldn't talk to different types of individuals and get that experience, especially I feel like as men. I think it makes you more well-rounded, more able, all around, every individual, but able to, move in different sectors. Andy?
There's a war on masculinity.
I feel that. I understand that. And I understand that people feel like, or men feel like they have to, especially black men for some reason at this time, they feel as though their masculinity is being questioned and that this idea of what black masculinity is being thrashed or something like that. But, things can adjust as we move on. Again, acceptance of that's them. Right? And you can do what you want. Does that preclude you having a conversation or being able to gain knowledge? I don't think so, but everybody is entitled to their own opinion. And I feel that. So shout out, like I said, I'm never going to not play no hands because of that. I'm just saying. All right. So listen, we told you last week that Shannon settled the $50 million lawsuit. We don't know the amount. I would assume it's somewhere in the $20 million range. So maybe $12.5 million for each cheek. We know that Gabrielle was an OnlyFans chick, and the day after the announcement of the settlement was released by Tony Busby, Gabrielle released a message saying, "Today I have decided to retire from OnlyFans. Thank you for the incredible support you've shown me over the past few years. This community has given me life I could have never imagined. I'll still be active on social media and have several new projects in the works that I can't wait to share. I'm truly excited for this next chapter. I love you all and forever and ever. Signed, $1 Million Baby." She didn't say that. I did. Yeah, girl, change your career. Start some new projects. You got millions to do so. Are settlements taxed? I don't think that person, I have to check that, but I feel like certain settlements, especially if they're from harm, are not taxable. So that might be whatever the amount is, whole car cash, no taxes. So let me tell you something, Shannon. That wouldn't have happened if you went up there with a girl that could make you a pork chop like Cheryl Underwood said. All right. Let's talk some of the other realities of fame. We've heard this a lot, right? We've talked a lot about, celebrities going broke, different things that they did, their spending habits. We know that, for example, NBA player Malik Beasley's spending might have sent him to take some risks gambling and things of that nature. I told you that this gambling thing was going to be a huge problem in the future, right? I told you guys this 2 years ago. We still continue to see that, but that's a side note. So Janelle was on a podcast, and, we love seeing people win, but when the money messes with the mind and the family and the things of that nature, it gets complicated. So Janelle was keeping it real. She was on IndieWire's What No One Tells You, and in it, she opened up about the pressure of being the first in her family to have real wealth, right? She said that it's changed all of my relationships. I get the check every time now. It's fine, but that was something I didn't consider before. She also talked about losing her privacy, feeling responsible for everyone she employs, and learning acting on the job during season 1 of Abbott after years of doing stand-up. So one of the things is the pressure to get the check. I know Sweetie recently talked about how everybody will look at her, when the bill comes, or she'll get a text like, "Hey, let's go to this place tonight. Oh, a table's only this much." And they said they would do that for you. But the friend is making the suggestion and hooking it up, but Sweetie has to pay. And I think that it is hard because sometimes, what if you want to go to some place that your friends and family, they can't really afford it, right? What do? Still hit the same corners? Maybe you can't because you're famous, right? Sometimes it's also hard when you know that family member or friend is struggling a bit and they're like, "Can I hold da-da-da-da-da-da-da?" But you'll never see it back, but you give it. And then next time they're in trouble, it can start a pattern, right? I wonder if, I know some have talked about it, but I wonder if people like actors and actresses would start thinking about maybe going into therapy or something as soon as they start getting their big money to deal with these issues before they start, because it is something that is inevitable. Right? Not even just actors and actresses, anyone who comes into a large amount of wealth, because the expectation is you got it. It's not going to hurt you, right? And it's not fair, but you also want to help your friends and family. You want all of us to celebrate, especially if they were with you on the grind. But we know that that is a fast track to brokenness and right back where you were. It's a delicate balance. So, I think everyone probably should tap into therapy for a bit just to check in, release some stuff, have a conversation where it is not personally invested, so you feel like you have to alter maybe the way that you present certain things because you don't want to be judged by your friends or family because you already know how they feel about certain things. But I think that, when you hear these stories and things like that, of course, it's not something that comes with the kit, and there's no guidebook, but I think that kind of stuff is helpful. Okay, one last story before we get out of here. The Omega Psi Phi fraternity has been expelled over the hazing death, right? Southern University and A&M College have expelled the beta chapters of Omega Psi Phi, those are the Qs, over the hazing death of 20-year-old Caleb Wilson. And I just wonder if at this time, right, I understand why they did it, but what can we do for the Divine Nine? Because I think that it is an important tool for stop hazing. Absolutely. I'm responding to Andy. But what can we do to make sure that these institutions, because with the current administration, I'm worried about them. And they do a lot fundamentally for after, the college antics aside. I know what it is in college, but after college, the things that they continue to do, what they provide, the type of support and fellowship that they bring is important. So I just wonder, as we're losing funding, as we're losing these things, these entities on college campuses are a resource. And of course, stop hazing. Absolutely. But how do we make sure to keep these type of institutions safe as we move forward? Listen, that is my time for tonight. Thank you for checking in every Monday through Friday, 6 to 7 p.m. Tomorrow we'll be back with more headlines. And you know what happens next. Coming up is the voice of reason, Zoe Williams. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow.
When you're out there walking the street, you may compete.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Amber Payton with BIN News Now. Black Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass says Trump's immigration crackdown has created fear across the city.
Not just the deportation, it's the fear that sets in